Hello, Namaskar and Adab to all my friends from your friend astrologer and guide Irfan once more with you with your very own channel Astro Assurance. We have been doing this series of signs in different houses. So far we have done planets in different houses, we have done planets in different signs, Atmakaraka in different houses, Amatyakaraka in different houses. There are a number of series which we have already done. So for those who have not seen those videos before, please go and watch in my playlist. There are a number of topics which serial wise of different placements we have covered. So in each of the playlists you will find a number of videos related to certain topics. So please go ahead and avail of those topics so that they may be able to answer some questions, some queries in your mind, and may be able to answer some thoughts, some questions that you have about your own life as well. So in that light, the series that we are doing, which is signs in different houses, we have done from Aries until the sign of Virgo so far. Aries sign in different houses, Taurus sign in different houses, until the Virgo sign in different houses. Today is the time of doing the next in line, which is the sign of Libra. When it goes into different houses because of different ascendants, what chances it throws up to the native, what opportunities it gives, what possibilities and what probabilities it creates for the person. So before we go ahead, a request to you: if you are one of those people who watch my channel regularly, or even if you have chanced upon this video for the first time, but if you find that my videos are useful for you, they answer some queries for you, they are able to lay bare some areas of life for you, and they make possible some solutions for you, then please subscribe to my channel, like my videos and share my videos, because then YouTube also promotes those videos further, and there may be others who may also be helped and assisted through these videos, and that will also give you some good karma. So please earn some good karma for yourself. We never know where it will be useful for us. By subscribing to my channel, if you haven't done so far, liking this video and sharing this video. So now on the topic for today, let's jump right into the sign of Libra in the first house. Now when the sign of Libra is in the first house, what is the sign of Libra? The sign of Libra represents your relations, different connections, your ability to work in teams and so on. And the sign of Libra, when it goes into the first house, then it talks about how are you able to use your connections to be able to create a higher or better personality for yourself, better stature for yourself, and what kind of an attitude do you bring in terms of your commitment to people, commitment to life, what kind of a balance you bring into your thought process, what kind of a refinement you are able to bring into what purpose of life you have, how you look, how you are able to look at your health. So you are combining the qualities of the Libra sign, the balance of the Libra sign, your ability to work with people, to the first house. So yeah, how you connect with people, how you are ready to share with others will also help people look at you in a different way. They will also look at you with more dignity, with more respect, and you will also be able to create a reputation that this is a person who believes in his or her relations, believes in his or her connections, and works hard on those connections. So you will find that the more committed you are to relations, the more you are ready to share with others, the more you are ready to make those connections, and the more you are ready to be able to give more and create the balance. You will be able to do better in how people see you as a person, what your reputation in society will be, what your dignity in society will be, and that will also help you to get better success. That will also help you to have better work ethics, where people see you as somebody who's also ready to share, who's also ready to take up responsibilities. And so a person who will be able to get more success through his or her connections, through how he or she balances between their own needs and the needs of others, are willing to share with others, and through this approach of balance, ability to make connections, sharing with others, are able to get more success for themselves, and are also able to get others to be more successful, is this placement. This is also an ability to think for others apart from thinking for ourselves, rather than focusing only on ourselves. This is also a person who is very balanced in his or her motivation. The motivation is not only about self, but the motivation is also about others. This is also a person who is very balanced in how he or she looks at others, the other people's needs. Is also very balanced in his or her needs, from health, from work, from relations, from life itself. So this is the person who will go out of the way to create those connections, to help others, and in the light of he being able to or she being able to showcase that kind of an approach, will also be able to extract commitment from others, loyalty from others, love and affection from others, and also team bonding from others. So when Libra sign goes into the first house, the person will be all about relations, connections, balance, refinement, commitment, chivalry, and ability to think for others as well as for self. That is the placement of the Libra sign in the first house. Now when the Libra sign gets into the second house, what is the second house about? The second house is about your values, your integrity, your family, the community that you are born in, your savings, the nourishment that you get, and so on. So here a person is very balanced in how he looks at his whole life when concerned about dependence, when concerned about community, and also the need for self. So this is the person who is also very balanced in what language he or she uses, what words they use. However, they are also very balanced in their values. They are either not too stringent on their values, their principles, but they are also ready to be able to look at other people's values, other people's principles also, and create the balance between their own needs and the needs of others, and the needs of the community, the needs of the family. Here the person also, because of the connections he makes or she makes, and because of the relationship that they create, which the Libra sign represents, they are able to attract more loyalty and more team bonding, and because of which they are also able to increase their savings, increase their livelihood also. And because when they work with people, they are able to extract better work from people, more successful teams, so their own worth also goes up, the team's worth also goes up, and eventually they are able to get higher earnings, higher livelihood also for themselves. And because of this approach to having connections, to having strong connections, and ability to also think for others and have the balance between self and others, they are also able to come across as a person who is not holding all appreciation, who is not hoarding all money, who is not hoarding all income, but is ready to share. And because of this also, people get attracted to this person, people want to work with this people want to pay this person higher, people don't mind sharing their own livelihood, their own profits with this person also. So a person who is very committed to his family, to his community, to his relationship, to the dependence on his or her life, very refined in their approach to food, to nourishment, to what kind of relations they look at, to who to bond, who not to bond in the community. Very polished in their language, they are very polished in their ability to speak different kinds of language, is also the placement of the Libra sign in the second house for you. Now when the Libra sign goes into the third house is about how much of an effort you are ready to put in, what are your communication skills, what is your self-enterprise, and are you able to do something of your own or not, your ability to influence others, and so on. So when the Libra sign goes into the third house, so here all the qualities of the Libra sign are brought into the third house. So it is an amalgamation of your commitment, your sense of balance, your sense of being able to define connections, form relations, and through that be able to get the work done of the third house. So here, based on your connections, you will also be able to influence others better. Or let me put it this way, because of your ability to be able to influence others also better, you are able to make strong connections, you are able to make strong relations, you are also able to extract strong commitment and loyalty from others also. And people will be seeing you as a person who is very good in their communication. This person is also able to influence others well, this person is able to sell his or her ideas well, and because of which also people don't mind getting along with you, getting into a team with you, working with you. Usually this is also a fantastic placement of getting into a partnership, which the Libra sign represents. And the third house is the house of working on your own. So if you want to start something of your own but in a partnership, this is an excellent placement. Because of the Libra sign energies in the third house, So when you're doing something of your own also, you want to bring in the balance in the team, you want to bring in the balance in the partnership, you want to bring in the balance in also how much you will be able to share the profits, the output, the results. So this is a person who will be working hard on being able to sell ideas, being able to communicate in a manner that is also very refined for others to listen to deal with you, to be able to indulge with you, and to be able to form those connections. So an excellent team person, an excellent salesperson, an excellent person to be able to use social media to reach out and to form those connections, have a good following, able to attract a lot of committed followers, and somebody who is also able to teach others well, teach the lessons of life, teach how you should be in relationship, teach how you can be on your own, how you can be able to stand up for yourself enterprise also, yet in the end also be able to share your goodies with others and have the balance in relationship also, and your ability to work with other people also, and to be able to reach out to others also. So an excellent placement to be able to sell your ideas, to be able to convince others, to be able to influence others, yet showcase great artistic abilities, being very refined in your choices, coming across also as a very refined person, a team person, a relationship oriented person, but also a person who is very independent in their thoughts, but also a very strong pillar to stand by and support you when the need arises. Now when the Libra sign gets into the 4th house, what is the 4th house all about? The 4th house is about what kind of assets you make, what is the peace and harmony and environment at home, how much happy you are at home, your heart, your emotions, your ability to be able to understand other people, your ability to empathize with other people, and so on. So yeah, when the Libra sign gets into the 4th house, so you bring in the commitment, the balance, and your ability to make connections with others, your ability to work with others to the areas of the 4th house. So here this person is very committed to family, very committed to how his domestic environment would be, will be first looking at the family or his dependents first before he or she looks at themselves. Their ability to be able to form strong relations with spouse or with family to be able to reach an objective. So these are not the people who will decide for themselves. So whenever they want to take a decision about what kind of property to invest in, where to go for a holiday, who to call over, who not to call over, they will all be depend on the family also. They will all depend on themselves, on the family to take a decision as a unit. Even the children may have a vote and a say in how the decisions are made at home. So a person who will work very hard and will create a balance between the family members themselves as well as his or her needs. A person who is ready to make a balance of how much work they do, how much time they want to give. If for some reason they are too committed to their work and they are not able to give more time to the family, then they will try to make it up in some way or the other. Maybe take the family for a holiday, take the family for a vacation, maybe bring some good gifts, or at least on special occasions ensure that they are there. And in relationships, being a good listener, this is a person who is very relationship oriented, and so this person will give his heart and soul to be able to talk to people, to be able to listen to people, to give a patient ear to people, to be a good sounding board to people. So overall, a good relationship oriented person, a person who puts others before self, especially family before self, has the heart and emotions in the right place, has a balance between what the need of the person is to the needs of the family, a good understanding of what needs to be done to keep the balance at home, to keep the harmony at home, to keep the home a very happy place, is the person with the Libra sign energies in the 4th house. Now when the Libra sign gets into the 5th house, what is the 5th house about? The 5th house is about education, your romance, your ability to invest in speculative investments, the house of children, media, public performances, and so on. So yeah, when the Libra sign gets into the 5th house, so the ability to strike a balance, to be able to make connections, to be able to get into these relations, to be able to strike good partnerships, commitment, loyalty, all is brought to the 5th house. So when the Libra sign gets into the 5th house, this is a person who believes in romance and long-term romance if possible. So this is not a person who is getting into a relationship only for fun, but deep down at a subconscious level is also looking at Can it go further? Can it go further? Can it go into a long-term committed relationship also? So the relationship may start off with romance, may start off with attraction, may start off with wanting to be with each other, but deep down, and if possible, the person may also want to make it a partnership which is not only for some years or few years, but even lifelong. This is a person who's very refined in how they treat the opposite gender, how they date the person, how they approach the person, and trying to keep a balance between the needs of the other person and self also. Even in intimacy, they will try to keep the balance between their own needs, their own sexual needs, and the need of the partner. A person who may bring in a lot of artistic ability, and usually these people may have some artistic ability as something that they like to do, something that they also have an ear for, an eye for. Some of these people may even collect artistic things or artistic memorabilia, or themselves have some artistic ear or some artistic bone somewhere. They are also very refined in how they treat education, very committed to education. If they want to get certain degree, then they will give a lot of time and attention to it. These are also the people, when they have children, they will also try to create a lot of balance at home. If they want to do something versus what the children want to do, they will find something which is common, which they also like to do versus the children will also like to do. And sometimes they may also tilt the balance more towards children, tilt the balance more towards family, tilt the balance more towards the romantic partner, trying to keep the person more happy than themselves. And through that commitment, through that partnership, through that sharing, they also bring happiness to themselves. A person who may be very balanced in, if they are artists, they will be very balanced in their performances. A very controlled actor, a very refined dancer, a very refined singer, who is able to bring in the suave and the technical ability together in the artistic performances or the hobbies that they follow. And also somebody who is very balanced in their investments also. This is not somebody who will put all their eggs in one basket, but will also try to divide the risk, try to maybe put some money in long-term investments, put some money in the bank, put some money in the stock. So overall, somebody who knows how to share the risk also with others. So a person who is a romantic at heart, believes in a lot of commitment, believes in doing more for others, is very chivalrous also, and ability to think for others before the person thinks of himself, whether in romantic relation, whether for family, even at work, is the person with the Libra sign in the 5th house. Now when the Libra sign gets into the 6th house, the 6th house is the house of service, competition, sicknesses, your debts, your loans, working for others, working in an environment, in a team environment where you have to compete with others, and so on. What is the Libra sign about? It's about commitment, it's about being more refined, it is about making those connections, it is about relationships, it is also about how you are able to create partnerships. So here, when the Libra sign gets into the 6th house, this is the person who's very committed to his or her service, to his or her work, to his or her career. So this is an extremely hard working person who has a very strong sense of partnership while working in a team. And in fact, these are the people also who may lose a little bit of what they get out of working in a team. So usually this is a person who may get the goodies of work or get the appreciation or acknowledgement of work maybe last or maybe much lower than the others also. And to a certain extent, this person doesn't seem to mind so much also, because this is a very team person. So this is the person who will make those strong connections at work, maybe even ready to give in more, put in more, so that the relationship works. Ready to work in partnerships, ready to work in projects. And when these people work in a team or in a project, they bring excellence to that work, they bring in the refinement to their work. And sometimes they feel when they do more, that's when they create the balance between how much they will contribute and how much the team will contribute. And through those connections, they also sometimes thwart the challenges of losing a relationship also, the challenges of overcoming competition at work also. If they compete with somebody, they will compete not because they want somebody to lose, but they want a win for themselves, or they want to win together rather than win at somebody else's cost. So very service oriented person, very committed to his or her work, very committed to, if they take loans from somebody or if they take favors from somebody, they will want to always return it, maybe with interest also. So here is a person, if you do some favors for them, you do some work for them, they will also be ready to do much more than what you did for them or what you brought to them. So a person who brings a lot of commitment, competence, technical ability, refinement in their work, balance in their work, and who thinks more for everybody else rather than themselves, is the person with the Libra sign in the 6th house for you. Now when the Libra sign gets into the 7th house, this is the best placement for the Libra sign, because 7th house is the natural place for Libra sign. This is also the Kal Purush Kundli or the Kal Purush horoscope. So here the person is all about relationship, the person is all about strong connection, the person is all about teams, this person is all about sharing, this person is all about commitment, this person is all about balance. So a person who is very balanced in their approach to relationship, in their approach to working with people, in their approach to partnership, and will not be looking at a flimsy relationship or a short-term relationship. This is a person who believes in the long-term commitment, also believes in a balance for self versus the partner, whether it's the life, whether it's the marital life that they are in, or they are in a relationship, in a partnership, or they are in a team effort. Everywhere there are people who have both commitment and balance and ability to work strongly with others. In doing so, they sometimes also lower their own expectations and keep focus on the expectations of others, and through that they are able to strike strong relationships, long-term relationships, sometimes for life also. If there is no malefic to the 7th house or the Libra sign or to Venus, then this can be a very strong relationship, long-term relationship, full of balance, full of commitment, full of strong loyalty. And this could be a relationship where very few things outside could rock the boat. So very strong relationship, commitment, partnership based on the foundation of doing more for others, wanting to do more, wanting to commit more, wanting to contribute more, whether to people's happiness, people's needs and issues. And through that balance, through commitment, through ability to work with teams, ability to look at others more than self, ability to keep others' needs before self, and through that being able to form strong, committed, attracting loyalty and long-term relationship with everybody wins, is the placement of the Libra sign in the 7th house for you. Now when the Libra sign goes into the 8th house, this can be slightly tricky placement, because now your ability to connect with people, your ability to strike relationships with people, your ability to work with people, your ability to share with people is all going into the 8th house, where mysticism, suddenness, mysteriousness, upheavals, commitments, transformations, obstacles, all are going through the churn here. So when you are not able to create a balance because you have upheavals in your life, that's when your relationships also suffer. If you are not able to make those connections because there are sudden challenges, sudden obstacles, then there is the challenge here. So here, when the Libra sign goes into the 8th house, the person will find that his or her relations will go through a sea of change, will go through a sea of transformations. Even when they try to settle into a relationship, settle into a team, settle into a project, settle into a work ethic, it won't be easy. Suddenness of situations, suddenness of experiences, suddenness of issues will suddenly throw up those challenges, because of which their connections may suffer, their ability to keep a balance for their own need and others may suffer, their ability to share with others may also suffer, their ability to invest and to have stable output from shared property, from shared objectives may also go through ups and downs. So yeah, relationships may take long time to settle in. After going through a lot of transformations and changes, then a person may be able to settle into a relationship. Their investments, the ability to strike a commitment from others, the ability to strike a balance from others will come at a cost, where they will have to give more, they will have to go through losses, they will have to go through this tribulation before eventually striking a relationship. Sometimes they also get into a relationship which may be hidden for some time, or the other person may want to keep it hidden for some time, or it is not a very public relationship also in certain situations also. But this is only for the time being. When they feel strong about the relationship, when they are able to commit themselves stronger, once they are able to build the trust, then they are the first people to commit. So trust issues also may be coming in and maybe disbalancing the relationship also here. However, if you put yourself before others, in spite of the challenges, in spite of the turbulence, in spite of the issues, if you are able to create those connections, you are able to build those relationships, then these are the relationships will go furthest. These are the people who will trust you more. because you put in the time of challenges and eventualities others more than you. So with such a placement, bid your time, commit to others, put your trust in others, do more for others, expecting less, and over a period of time you'll find that these relationships may sometimes be the strongest which come to you. Some of the relationships, a lot of your relationships may go through churn, may also be falling by the wayside, but there will be some which will stand by you the strongest. These will become the pillar of strength for you and will overall lead you to get strong inheritance from them, make strong profit from them, even from shared property or even from shared business. So a very strong partnership oriented role, but of course after going through the battle of seesaw and the strong waves and current that the 8th house will throw at you. Now when the Libra sign gets into the 9th house, so here relationships, your connections, your ability to work with people all go through the churn of experiences of higher learning. So on one side you will find that the 9th house, which brings gains to you, which brings you the ability to be able to connect with people, have higher qualifications, higher degrees, getting all sorts of life lessons, all get connected to how you are able to work with people. Sometimes the biggest lessons that you feel in life or you get in life will come from how your ability to people comes out to be. So some of your relationships may turn out to be the biggest challenges, and those experiences give you the higher learning in your life, and those experiences also make you a better person. So yeah, because Libra sign is about making connections, so you make connections with people from around the world, long distance also. You may meet somebody for the first time, and sometimes you feel that, do I know this person from maybe an earlier life or maybe from earlier on. So with some people you hit off in a flash, with some people you may just not be able to. This is also a placement where you move away from your comfort zone and move out of your comfort zone to be able to make those relationships, make those connections. So your ability to be able to move away from your rigid thought processes, from your rigid experiences, and be more open to experiences, being open to learning, even to be able to understand and agree to the thought processes of others, to be having a more balanced approach in your faith, your belief, your trust system, and to the learning of others and to the thought processes of others, and through that build more strong connections is this placement. Somebody who is able to balance between the fun element and the education element, somebody who is able to connect gains in life to relationships. So even when you want gains in life, you will not sacrifice the relationships at the altar of gains. So somebody who will keep a balance between the strong gains that you get out of the 9th house, the relationship of the Libra sign, and over a period of time through this connection, through this relationships, be able to do more and bring more gains both to the others and yourself is this placement. A placement where relationships and the life lessons that relationships bring to you sometimes become the biggest qualification that you have, the biggest wisdom that you have to be able to do better in life. And this is also a placement where across the boundaries you are able to strike good relations and connections with people as if you have known them from before. So overall a very good balance in relationship, in being able to handle different challenges of life easier, to be able to handle the life experiences that life throws at you, yet build connection through them and keep connection through them is the placement of the Libra sign getting into the 9th house for you. Now when the Libra sign gets into the 10th house, what is the 10th house about? 10th house is your karma, 10th house is your work, your career, your reputation at work, what is your approach to work, what is the kind of work that you do, what is your dedication and discipline to work. So you bring in the qualities of Libra sign to all these attributes of the 10th house. So strong commitment to work, strong balance of what kind of work you do, what kind of projects you do, how and what kind of relationships you form at work, balance between the need of the team and your higher ups, committed to higher ups, commitment and loyalty, strong loyalty to superiors, to the management, to the leadership, being able to stand behind leaders, being able to commit your time, your attention, your focus to the work at hand, and being able to work with a wide variety of people, almost as if it's your karma. So you become extremely duty bound here, and because you're duty bound also, you don't hesitate to be able to create relationships also with those people sometimes who are very difficult to work with. So you are a person, you will find that there will always be somebody at work who may be a pain, and who may be very nosy, who may be poking a nose in your work, who may be finding fault in your work, who may be pointing fingers at you, who may not be able to appreciate your work. You may also find supervisors who may not be able to acknowledge your work. Yet with your ability to be able to strike connections, to be able to build those relationships, you'll work hard on having that commitment to the relationship, to the work at hand, to the project, and through that, over a period of time, some of the best connections, some of the best relationships you will have will be at work. You will always have some people at work who will sometimes become your saviors, and sometimes you become their saviors. So very strong connections at work, and you will be able to put to the side those people who may become a challenge for you, an obstruction to you at work also. Yet working hard, because you know that you're duty bound, those connections are important, those values are important to be able to carry yourself with dignity, to be able to carry the expectations of others, to be able to deal well with different kinds of people, yet be able to do more for the project, yet be able to do more for the objective that you have been given, with a lot of discipline and with dedication. And through that, being able to enhance your reputation at work, through that being able to enhance your stature at work, and through those connections, hard work, bidding your time over a period of time, then rising slowly through work, is the placement where you bring in that balance, that commitment to work, to the quality of work and to the output, and then rise through sheer hard work and dedication rather than taking any favors from anyone. So a person who is very chivalrous, very giving to others, ability to think for others, the project, the team, the managers before self, almost as if you're karma bound, almost as if you're duty bound, without batting an eyelid to how much you do for more for others and for the work, and through that being able to raise yourself at work and grow at work, is the placement of the Libra sign in the 10th house for you. Now when the Libra sign gets into the 11th house, now what is the 11th house about? It is about your social connections, it is about your social network, it is about the friend circle that you have, it is about the larger social structure, your larger social responsibilities. This is also a house of your wishes and desires. So all these attributes of the 11th house come together with the Libra sign energies of commitment, of balance, of sharing, ability to work with others, to make those relations, to be able to form strong bonding with others. So when the Libra sign gets into the 11th house, so here the commitment is to a larger goal than self, to a larger team goal, to a larger organization goal, to a larger social goal also. The ability to think much beyond self, and to be able to do the project that you need to do, to be able to do or work for a social cause, especially working in a large organization. So the department comes first for you, your team comes first for you, the objective at hand, the cause at hand, the departmental cause, the department objective comes to you before your need. So a person who is very balanced in how he or she works in the large organization, usually such people will be doing more and will get lost in large organizations, may not be able to get the kind of appreciation, the kind of output, the kind of growth that they deserve and they desire also. However, over a period of time, making the strong connections, ability to work with teams and being able to do more, and once they are able to show that they have contributed strongly, continuously and regularly, and through that are able to do more for others, and also then to turn the limelight on themselves. So only after long term of doing more for others, for the departmental cause, for the team cause, for a social cause, for a cause for the not only for the organization but even for society, or taking some cause and running, only then they find that over a period of time success comes to them. These are people who are very strongly committed to their friends, very strongly connected to the social fiber, so they will try to keep the social fiber strong. These are people who will also be very sociable, which means they like to spend time with friends, they like to call people over, they like to go out, maybe let their hair down every now and then. Very private person within their heart, they don't open to anyone and everyone, but showcasing to people outside as if everything is normal, always having a smile on their face, because for them, not sulking in a team environment, in a social environment, bringing harmony, happiness, smiles to other people's faces also is what they believe in. If they believe in a social cause, then they will not hesitate to make those connections which will help them to do those social causes as well. So if they believe in a cause, they believe in a business, they believe in a project, then they will go around getting more people to commit to that project, to the idea at hand. People who are able to keep their wishes and desires to the side, and first they contribute, first they deserve before they desire, is this placement. So people who are always looking at doing more for larger society, believing in certain causes, working with other people, believe in strong relations at the society level, doing more for friends, standing by for friends, being the 4am friend that everybody desires. There will always be few people in your life who will find you as the first or the second person that they can depend on more than anybody else. A person who is ready to lend a helping hand to others, or at least a patient ear to somebody, even sometimes when you don't connect with them, even sometimes when you don't know them very well, and who leaves a strong legacy on doing most for society, is the placement of the Libra sign in the 11th house for you. Now the placement of the Libra sign in the 12th house. What is the 12th house about? The 12th house is the house of losses, your expenses, waste and excess, foreign lands, solitude, being isolated, hospitals, foreign clients, donations, charities, a number of things, and of course spirituality, moksha, and so forth. So when the Libra sign of commitment, balance, refinement, ability to work with people, ability to form strong relations, ability to form strong connections, all comes to the 12th house. So here a person will be very committed to large social causes of giving. This is one of the most ardent givers of money, of effort, of commitment to others. So a person who sometimes loses out because he thinks too much about others, thinks too much about relationships, thinks too much about keeping the balance, and sometimes doesn't keep for self or keeps last for self. Somebody even in their biggest losses is very refined. From the face, even when they are facing the toughest challenges, you will not be able to make out, because they will usually keep a smile on themselves. Though emotionally inside they may be hurting, there may be a sea of emotions which is going through their mind, going through their heart. There are strong undercurrents which are going through their heart, through their emotions, yet trying to keep a very peaceful demeanor on their face. So very strong connection. The ocean that the 12th house represents, all is flowing inside, but very calm waters on the face is this placement. So these people are able to bottle up their emotions the strongest, the best, without being somebody who opens up to others very easily. Very, very spiritual people, deep within, sometimes they ask themselves, maybe I deserved it, maybe I was the one who's wrong, maybe I was the one to blame, or thinking, why was I to blame? So asking a lot of questions, or just giving in to their losses as their karma maybe they deserve. People who end up taking more of the blame on themselves, yet continue to do more, continue to take those losses, continue to take those expenses for the sake of relationship, for the sake of family, for the sake of society, for a cause that they believe in, wanting to do more for others, maybe donating more than they can afford to do, is this placement. So people who through their strong commitment to relations and connections give most to society, most to others, sometimes even when they are at the receiving end, sometimes even when they go through the emotional upheavals, but through that build the strongest karma, having a very spiritual approach to life itself, having a very spiritual approach to different questions of life, having a very spiritual approach to facing challenges and to taking the losses through commitment to relationships, giving more to others, doing more for others, and through that, through losses, through strong loyalty and a lot of giving, they eventually raise themselves spiritually. And so if you have the Libra sign in the 12th house, relationships come first to you, even at your own cost. But I would say that please keep a balance between how much you give in relationships, how much you give to teams, how much you give to others, and keep some for yourself also, because it is always good to be a little selfish for your own happiness rather than give off everything to others and then be the only person who's at the receiving end. So friend, now that we have discussed how the Libra sign works when it goes into different houses, check where your Libra sign is, what planets are in the Libra sign, where the ruler of Libra sign Venus is placed, what doshas of yogas it is placed in, what planets are aspecting the Libra sign, whether the Libra sign has any strong doshas or yogas, and from the placements be able to decipher more about how the Libra sign in that house is behaving, giving you results, and through better understanding of the Libra sign and the house be able to extract the most for yourself, because this is a strongest sign for relationships and connections, and what is life without relationship and without this important connections. So friend, like this video, share this video, and if you're looking for a personal consultation from me, please reach out to me at the links given below. Till some other time with some other video, this is your friend astrologer and guide Irfan signing off.